think we should also, you know, just reinforce the fact that public education is not something that families should choose as a last resort. It's a first choice, not a last chance, that people should have when they go to think about education, because this is the place where everybody gets in the mix together. And this is where the dynamic of American democracy is being practiced, is in a public school classroom. You know, but before you get to the city council, before you get to your corporate boardroom and find all of this diversity that exists, but before you engage in the larger population and have to deal with the fact that there is a much broader world out there than in your particular family, your particular congregation, or your particular neighborhood, well, you practice this experiment in democracy, and this is a laboratory for life. And so rather than pulling out and reinforcing all those distinctions, being able to do that in a public school classroom really is a secret for a well-functioning democracy.
And again, I would just add, you both have beautifully stated why it's so important that we both have a public education institution in the United States of America, and additionally, why it's important to support it. But like, even if you were still stuck on this idea of, I don't know if my kid's going to get a good education if they go to public school, which is something that is just repeated over and over when the facts of the matter are very different than what that misperception suggests. You actually look at what happens when we integrate our schools. It is one of the best tried and true practices to ensuring high academic achievement. And this all came, you go back, with Brown versus Board of Education in '54. After that, we had a report that was done. It was issued during the LBJ administration, but it was done by a professor named James Coleman. It's the Coleman Report. And really the Coleman Report, to this day, the findings have stood pretty solid. He found when you get kids from all walks of life together, you really don't see anything but a positive benefit in any way that you would want to cut data or experience. It was true then, it's still true now. So there really is no good argument at this point for why you shouldn't, as you said, George, have public education as your first choice. And then after that first choice, and there are many choices amongst the first choice, right, then looking at these other things to say, well, maybe I want a different education. That's the way that I hope we'll start thinking about it moving forward.